But first, with the fifth consecutive increase to the official cash rate today and yet another poll saying the cost of living is by far the single biggest issue facing Australians, the opposition is both practically right and on a political winner every time they highlight Labor's election pledge to cut power bills by $275 per household per year.
People voted for this government on the basis that they would reduce their power prices by $275. That was the solemn commitment the Prime Minister gave to the Australian public. And he spoke about it, as I say, he and the Labor Party on 97 occasions before the election. He's not mentioned the figure once since that time. Not once.
97 times in the election campaign, but not once since then. Not once. And that's because the Prime Minister's other election pledge to cut emissions by 43% by 2030 all but cancels out his cheap power promise. Here's why. By promising he'll double renewable energy from under 40% of the grid as it is now to over 80% within 8 years' time, and by slashing the use of coal, currently over 60% of our power, down to under 20% again in 8 years' time, the Prime Minister is going to put us in the same position that Europe is in now. That's skyrocketing bills, factories on short time, and households worried they won't have heating in winter. Now, it's no wonder that energy was the first place new British Prime Minister Liz Truss went today, promising yet another bailout for households whose bills have tripled, as well as a push to get more North Sea oil into Britain, to start gas fracking onshore as well, and to build more nuclear power stations. Now, the left tries to blame all of this on Putin's gas blackmail after Ukraine. But Europe's only dependent on Russian gas because it's made itself dependent on intermittent power. This is a car crash, but it's one we can avoid here if we're smart enough to learn from Europe's mistakes. I'll have UK news journalist Dan Wooten on the show later to discuss all of this and, of course, the Truss agenda. But as a country, we need to understand here what's happening in Britain and Europe. It's our future too if we don't wake up and wake up soon. It's okay for Twiggy Forrest to want to ban coal and gas like the Greens and to lecture us on renewables and green hydrogen, but none of this is proven. It's all being propped up by billions in subsidies, and no serious country should jeopardise its energy security for a green dream.